Okay, come on in, Leah. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I tend to disagree with a great many things that you've been saying.
Hmm.
One of the things I do believe is that, if it was not for countries like the United States of America that do not have a socialized medical system,
We don't have a
just,
socialized medical system, you mean,
no,
right?
I say that don't,
Yeah,
as
okay.
opposed to European countries and Canada that
Hmm.
do.
Hmm.
Uh, then I think that there's just a tremendous amount of technology
Hmm.
that would not exist, that these people piggyback on us
Hmm.
because there's no incentive for somebody to invest tens of millions of dollars trying to develop some of the equipment.
Hmm.
It's not just drugs. It's a lot of equipment, imaging equipment, things of this nature that
Right.
we didn't even have 15 years ago.
Hmm.
And if somebody wasn't willing to roll the dice and say, I'm going to lay all this money out to try to develop this thing, and God forbid it should work and I should make a little profit in return. But see, these countries like England or France or Germany or Canada, they just wait for it to happen and then they just snap it up, and,
Okay, let me ask you this. Can I get the gist of what you're saying, and I respect the gist of what you're saying. Unfortunately, after the studies has been done, right? And this is where I ask people who are calling into my show just as to help us by researching, right? In other words, what I'm trying to say is that everything that you've just said has been debunked. And when I say debunked, I say that with respect, but I really want you to know that nothing that you have just said there is true, and it has already been proven not true. Let me give an example. If you go to citizens.org, okay, they've done the research and there are several things that they've found out. A lot of drug research that we do in this country is actually first done at the university level, and when it is time to market, it is then capitalized, and private equity funds and all these other people capitalize on the discoveries that were made at universities. And who paid for those universities again, my friend? The kids who pay their tuition, and us, you yourself, the taxpayer. That's number one.
Well, you're talking about drugs.
No, not only drugs. I'm not finished.
I was talking about equipment.
No, and I'm talking about all of that, sir. Really. The mechanical engineering department at the University of Texas, the biomedical department at the University of Texas, and that's where I went to school. That's where I got my degree. They've done all this research, and whenever it is time to capitalize on these products, it's not the university that makes a profit or the ongoing profit. A lot of times for short-term gain or because of political whatever, they will sell the rights quickly, and then somebody else capitalizes on that. What I'm trying to say, my friend, is the following. There is a lot of media out there, and there's a marketing department of these drug companies and equipment manufacturers, etc., 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 who is there to promote exactly what you've said, which sounds plausible. Everybody else is piggybacking on the United States. Here's the funny thing about it. A lot of the healthcare costs in England, a lot of the drugs that we are using in mass quantities, they're not even using those drugs because the cheaper drugs are just as good. The example that I gave between Claritin and Clarinex is probative. What do I mean by that? Claritin continues to work fine. It continues to stop the sniffles of many Americans. But it lost its patent. In losing its patent, what occurred is that drug company thought it needed to find a way to sell a high-priced drug again. So it added a little ingredient, renamed it to Clarinex, and then guess what happened? It sends its people to doctors and say, hey, this is a new drug. Now sell it. That is what we're encountering. There is no reason for us to, and if you doubt a lot of what I'm saying, look at the profit margins of drug companies compared to other companies. Look at the amount of monies that are spent on TV commercials. Look at all these different expenses that they have. And ask yourself the question, why do we have to advertise drugs when a doctor based on your particular condition, should decide what is in your best interest. Not for you to be watching TV and saying, oh,
you're not getting an argument from me there.
Right. I know, sir.
I would do away with
my
all
friend,
commercials.
My friend, let me tell you something. You and I can guarantee you something. Most people, even those who call here initially with a vile response to me, implying some sort of a social medicine type of a stuff, when they actually look at the practicality, because when people talk about markets, right? You can't talk about markets in medicine, because when you talk about market, when I go to the store, I have the choice of buying Bama or buying some other brand, or if it's too high, I have the choice of simply saying no. When you get into an accident, when something bad happens to you, you don't have that choice to say no. When something is wrong, so it doesn't fall within the framework of what many capitalists would like. We've decided to do that. And in doing so, what we've started to do is bankrupt our own citizens. Many American citizens are simply bankrupt because they get sick. And I mean, it's not hyperbole. There's a better way to do this. And we have to be open to the better way to do this. That's all I'm saying, my friend.
Well, sir, and I appreciate your time. I have a terminal disease myself.
Right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
I have learned to herd cats.
I hear you, buddy. Let me tell you something. We need folks like you who will listen and give themselves a chance to change how they feel and talk to your friends about it, my friend. Look, I appreciate your call to KPFT. You keep calling us and you keep listening, okay?
Bye.
You have a wonderful day.